Good evening everybody and welcome to a very wet Div 2 title decider here at China. It is Wednesday night, which means it is time to let the Div 2 boys off the leash for the final time this season. And we are about to wrap up season 17 with a three-way title decider on our hands. And the weather is going to play a part in qualifying at least. So here we are then. 12 weeks of hard, intense racing. It all comes down to this. We've got 3 drivers covered by 12 points going for the championship. FTRL Pagani leading the way, just 4 points ahead of Brutus Beer, with Daft Chip a further 8 points back. All 3 drivers in with a shout of winning a Div 2 crown this evening. So 28 laps ahead of us, but first a small matter of qualifying to get out of the way. And as you can see, it is very, very wet, which could definitely throw up a very mixed grid. How are the title contenders going to get on? Well, we'll find out. Somebody is making a dart for the track, and it was one of the Hazes, I believe. Let's see if we can find out who it was. It was Mr. Nexus Cats. Mr. Nexus Cats is going to guide us on a lap of a very soggy Shanghai circuit. And very quickly does a pirouette. So, showing how just treacherous the conditions are. The Hazman spinning on that long turn 1. Right-hander. Oh, and going again nearly at turn 2 as he tries to get back up to racing speed. It's looking a bit imperious already. These conditions are not looking very nice. Well, it seems to have got it pointing in the right direction now, and getting some heat into those tyres, which should give him a little bit more grip and hopefully put an end to his little pirouetting session. Although bravely touching the inside curve there, we saw last night claim a few victims there, so the drivers need to be careful of that corner there. Proving very tricky last night, quite a number of the Div 1 boys. So they wrapped up their season in fine style as well, and hopefully we'll see equal amounts of action as we did in Div 1. So coming around this long right-hander that leads onto the back straight. The dry conditions is flat out and provides one of the best overtaking opportunities. It's going to be treacherous in these conditions. And you can see it's heavy rain. Daft Chip though braving the intermediates. And then down to the hairpin, end of the back straight. 1 corner to go, and we'll jump on board with him as we do a lap of the Shanghai circuit. There we go then, start finish straight. Goes over the line there, and then now underway, goes under the grandstand there and into this tricky turn 1. It's a long, everlasting right-hander. Apex at the start, drift out, and then come back for a late second apex. Probably start dropping down the hill for the left-hander of turn 2. Again, a long radius corner. Really eats the tyres up in the dry. Oh, big twitch! Saves it off the puddles, but it's cost him some time. Show how tricky these conditions are. Through the kink of turn 3 and then down to the heavy braking zone here at turn 4. Good overtaking opportunity. Starts to build the speed up again now. Gets it into the long left-hander of turn 5. Mind that curve on the inside. Will be slippery in these conditions. Down a couple of gears into the right-hander. See him tiptoeing around here and then into this double left-hander. Onto the short back straight. To this uphill off camber. Turn left and turn right, and then into another long right-hander. Again, the back end just seems to be trying to escape. Feathering the throttle there. Tippy-toeing his way around now onto the straight, gets the power down. To the end of the back straight, down the gearbox to second gear. Have 2 bites of the cherry as he tries to get the car to turn in. Oh, big switch. Oh, big twitch on exit. Back end trying to switch around. Gets the power down then into the final corner. Plenty of curve on the inside. Be careful of the curves on the outside. Is it pointing straight? And over the line on the first lap time is a 1:49.1 from Nexus Cats there. Tippy-toeing his way around. just about making it safely around as Brutus Beer, then the first of our title contenders, pops himself onto provisional pole on 47.7 for him. Pagani drops into P2, a 48.3. Fever goes third on a 49.0. On board then with the returning Alex Pixie. Spotted him online, convinced him to get a bashing off his other half later on. But he is back for a final jaunt. Here he is then, coming into the penultimate corner. So Aaron Trucker takes over at the top then, a 47.7. Just going about half a tenth faster than Brutus Beer. Next, Iceman drops into P6. What about Alex Pixie? Goes fastest of all, 47.4. So, after a couple of weeks off, Alex Pixie's back with a bang on his first run. However, Daft Chip on the intermediate tyres delivers a 47.0, so the third of the title contenders, and has popped himself onto provisional pole after his first run. About Matt Man, Mercedes man, out of the final corner. Where does he pop himself after his first run? P10 for him, a 49.6. What about Dylan? Oh, he's wrestling the car. Getting out of the way, in fact, now, so I think he's abandoned this lap. What about Callum? Callum just coming across started line, so the second of the Mercedes starts his first flying run. He's him and Dylan joined the same time. He's had a couple of fairly solid results so far. Callum, Dylan has not quite had as much luck, so let's see how Callum gets on with this lap. To the left-hander, turn 2. Zippy towing his way around the edge. You can see just how gentle they've got to be with putting the power down in these conditions. To the right-hander he goes, a little away from the apex. Nice and tidy so far. So McLaren boy, so yeah, of course, that's mentioned. A three-way title decider for the Drivers' Championship. Daft Chip, Brutus Beer and Pagani in contention. Also the Constructors' title still up for grabs then, so Div 1 the titles were wrapped up several weeks ago. Div 2, both titles coming down to this final round then. So as we mentioned, the three drivers in championship contention. McLaren and Aston Martin are duelling it out for the Constructors' Championship. It's a 37-point lead for McLaren over Aston Martin, but that can be overturned. Provided, of course, both Aston Martins to have a strong result and McLaren's to suffer quite badly. At the minute, McLaren's sitting first and third. Aston Martin's sitting fifth and 7th. Oh, who's that having a moment? That's Matt Man having a moment in front of his teammates. Out of the final quarter comes Callum, crosses the line, goes P12 just in behind his teammate. Between them, they probably lost a little bit of time. They're avoiding his teammate, actually, who'd spun further around, and I think Daft Chip's lap times are going to prompt a number of drivers to switch to the intermediates. Yep, here comes Bred, he's on his way now on the intermediates, so having sat in the pits for a bit, let some of the rain disperse, get some of the cars out on track, clear a bit of the standing water. He's now going to brave the track. His way around. So the current running order with 8 minutes 45 to go is Daft Chip from Alex Pixie, from Aaron Trucker, Brutus, Captain Chubbs, Oscar, Pagani, Fever, Cats and Iceman rounding out the top 10. Mattman and Callum, the only other two drivers also with the lap times. Still waiting for Dylan, Bred, Tom and Lennon to set lap times. So what a season it's been, and our first on F1 2021. The last 12 weeks have absolutely zipped by, and that means, well, season 18 is going to have to start being planned. And how the time flies when you're having fun watching these drivers do their thing. Brett then on his way down the back straight at the moment.
I've appeared like a nonce at a window.
Oh, it's the Artful Dogger, Mr. Aaron Taylor.
It's the Artful Dogger. It's the A-Dog, the T-Dog. Good evening, everyone.
That's right. You do not adjust your headsets. That is our imperious leader himself.
Well, you say that. Hello everyone, I've missed you. Basically, I've turned up, but it's the last race of the season. Pagani has a chance of winning something, and I'm just here to laugh.
Well, Div 2 has provided with many laughs over the seasons, hasn't it?
Is Mike still racing?
Unfortunately not, no.
So,
Mike has
so
provided many of the best moments of Div 2. Ooh, Brett. Trying to get the power down on exit turn 2, almost dropping it already. So it's still tricky out there. Of course, title decider, 3 drivers going for glory, and the weather decided to turn up as well.
Well, I'm joining. I've come to do a watch.
Come to do some peeping.
I have.
So I'm currently watching a very twitchy Brett as he goes through the S's section. We've still got it all under control again now. The question in the chat is, what the fuck are you doing here? That's from Mrs. Leanne Stevenson.
Leanne Stevenson. To be honest with you, I honestly don't know. But I could ask Lennon what he's doing in the pit wall. Oh, sorry, he's not in the pit wall. What he's just doing in the wall
turn
in general.
2 wall
so,
instead, though. Yeah. What are you doing there, Lennon?
So, exactly. If you could provide some more context with that, Lennon, that'd be excellent.
Oh, where's he going now? Oh, he's getting out of the way of somebody. Okay, we'll let him off. Well, he'll claim he's getting out of the way of Alex.
That's his excuse.
Yeah.
So, just for reference, for those that aren't aware of me, there might be a few. Lee's done what I would imagine, and from what I've heard, an incredible job, as always, on his commentary for the season, and I've come to ruin it. So, what I will do for the evening is take the mick. I'll have a lot of laughs, and Lee will do the serious stuff. So, good luck to all those racing. And if you spin, no matter who you are, I will laugh.
Oh, so I try not to, but
it's impossible.
I mean, it's Lennon the minute I'm watching, and he's trying to spin again.
It's hard to do when you're on full traction.
And automatic gears.
Yeah.
And driving and braking assist.
I've heard that Lennon's girlfriend races for him, to be honest.
I heard it was his mum.
Oof.
Anyway, here he comes, trying to set a lap time. So far, only
Lee,
10, 12, 13 seconds off the pace. Oh, he's gone into pits. He's going to hide. Classic Lennon.
Lee, this is a bad idea.
Yeah, it's the best idea.
We shouldn't have done this.
It's fine. Anyway, meantime, title protagonist Brutus Beer has popped himself onto provisional pole. In fact, he's matched Aaron Trucker's lap time down to the thousandths of the second. And Nexus Cats is just 1,000th behind, and then Oscar is a further thousandths behind. So you've got 4 cars covered by 2,000ths of a second.
So, question. I mean, obviously, I have been following for the season.
Okay.
Genuinely. I know it's Pagani and Brutus Beer.
Yes.
It's between, isn't it?
And Daft Chip.
Why is Pagani
well.
in 10th? Oh, right.
I think he's only done a lap on the wet tyre so far, and now he's going out in the intermediates. But Pagani's done this all season. Doesn't qualify particularly well because it's Pagani, and he doesn't tend to go for poles on F1, and then just goes about his business in the race as everybody else throws it at the scenery, and then he just comes through for good results. He hasn't won a race this season, but he still leads the championship.
Such a Pagani thing to do, isn't it?
I know it is, isn't it? Well, he's on his outlap at the moment. Brutus has unfortunately ruined the close little battle we had at the top of the standings. Actually, so as Chubbs and Aaron Trucker, they've all spread out now. That's just rude. Just for a bit of context as well, CP121, his name's Dylan, and Callum LC, who's in 12th, they both work with Lennon. Well, I know Dylan does anyway.
Oh, so, God.
So yes, unfortunately Dylan has come in with Johnny Bignuts as saying he's going to beat Lennon, and so far has crashed out of pretty much every race.
Nice.
So he's,
you can tell he's friends with Lennon then.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Alex Pixie is friends with, brother to, who's he brother with? Aaron Trucker, that's right. He's Alan Trucker's brother, Daft Chip's mate. Popped himself back onto provisional pole position into the 43s.
It's all really personal, isn't it? All these friends and family members. And
I know, right? Gone are the days of just randomers rocking up and causing absolute chaos at Copse Corner at Silverstone.
Yeah, I'm on board with Pagani, and what he's done is forgotten that Apex exists.
Yeah. Maybe he's allergic. To be fair, in the wet weather, you probably don't want to be touching them because those painted lines are going to be very slippery.
Yeah, but you need to be careful of any white lines on the track. Lennon might get happy.
Let's see how he's doing time-wise. He's 2.4 seconds faster, so despite avoiding all the apexes, he's actually going significantly quicker.
It's a shame.
This is Pagani, not Lennon. We want this. We want Pagani to go quickly. It's Lennon. You want to spin.
Do we?
I don't know. Do we?
I don't know.
I think so. Well, new name out the head of the time sheets. It's Aaron Trucker now, 43.2. It's a big jump then, so the track's definitely rubbering up. Well, probably not rubbering up in these conditions. Drying up. I'll go with that instead.
I'm a big fan of his name. He's got a good name.
Not Trucker.
Yes.
I thought you'd appreciate that. Out of the final quarter then comes Pagani. What that time is he going to put onto the board? He goes third, a 43.8, so puts himself right into contention at the sharp end of the grid. Just over a minute to go. Everybody on track apart from Brutus and Captain Chubbs. Brutus has not gone out for another run, and he's now not going to have time, so Brutus is going to at best be P4. Chubbs also sat in the pit, so he's no better than P5.
Well,
the current pole sitter doing, he's down on this lap, so he's not going to improve. He might have had a moment. What about Alex Pixie?
It says Brutus is on an out lap. Has he just come out of the pits with 30 seconds to go?
He has, yes. It's a bold strategy, Aaron. Let's see how it pays out for him. Maybe he knows a shortcut. Maybe he's just going to cut through onto the back straight at some point and just loop around.
Nexus Iceman, that's a name I've not seen for a while.
Yeah, he came back last week.
He's a real OG.
Yeah, indeed. He's also dislocated his shoulder this week, so he's racing on pad.
That's clever.
Yeah, well, it's a football injury, and apparently the guy came in at Mach 7 into the back of him and bowled him over. But it's dedication to the cause, fair play. I mean, he's even in a Has. He's turned up to race in a Has with a dislocated shoulder. I mean, that's the level of dedication that few would show.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what he done there is he got to the line as the clock hit 0. So I'm incredibly impressed with his timing there.
That's exceptional.
I automatically want him to win.
So he will be the final one coming around to the line. Fever looks to be the next one to cross the line. The final corner, Aaron in the pits then, sitting on provisional pole. Fever goes up to P6, 45.007.
Love a bit of Fever. Quick question for you, Lee, before you see this out. Does Chubb still spin all the time?
It is known, yes. He did alright last week. But it's still quite a big thing. He does like Austria though, so he tends not to spin there, but a lot of the other tracks he has bottled a couple of victories this season, or at least potential victories, so that is still a thing, yes.
Nice. And is it 1 point per position, or is it a bit more?
No, we changed it up a little bit now, so the top 5 actually get more points, but then from 6th downwards it's still 1 point reductions.
Okay,
so it's now 30 for a victory, 26 for second, 23 for third, 21 for fourth, 18 fifth, and then 15, I think.
Nice.
And then you point for pole, you point for fastest lap.
Dylan in the chat that said, you want to watch someone spin, it's me you want to watch. Is that CP?
That's CP 121, yes.
Cool. Well, I'm going to watch you at the start, Dylan. You've excited me now, my friend. And if I do laugh, I just want people to know this as a disclaimer. I don't mean it that horribly. Like, it's just a bit of fun.
It's all done with love.
I started FTRL like many moons ago. And if I don't laugh now, then I'll just cry.
This is true. Well, Fever's got round to do one more lap. Is he going to get another lap time in? Let's see how he's doing time-wise. No, he's going to the pits. So he is had enough then. So Aaron Trucker takes his maiden FTRL pole position, I believe. So usurping the
Go on.
title contenders is Pagani onto the front row right at the death.
He was the second down in the first sector.
Well, he clearly found some time in Sector 2 and Sector 3.
Or unless it was a game glitch. But to be fair, that wouldn't surprise me.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. Now we've had some fantastic ones this season. They have seemingly got rid of that one where the leaderboard just goes completely haywire after about 6 corners, and the guy who's in first is now 11th, and the guy in 16th is first, and that one's always fun when I'm trying to keep track of where everybody is and people going off.
Only took them 4 years. That partnership with EA really helped.
Also, that guy in the grandstand that kept glitching, he's now sorted, but everything else is still a problem. So there we have it then, qualifying done. And it is, well, say first blood to Aaron Trucker, but Pagani has put himself ahead of his 2 rivals, and if he can get there at the end of the race, he will be our Div 2 champion. So Aaron Trucker on pole position with Pagani alongside him on the front row, just popping himself ahead of Alex Pixie, who starts 3rd alongside Oscar. Daft Chip, the 2nd of our title protagonists, starts P5 alongside Nexus Cats, and then Brutus, and then P2 in the championship, and our 3rd title contender starts P7. Lennon somehow managed to get himself up to P8 with Bread in P9, and Chubbs rounding out the top 10 with Iceman, Feber, Matman, Callum, Dylan and Tom Duval, who is making up some numbers tonight, starting at the back, rounding off the grid.
I can't help but feel there's a comment in the live chat saying, "Get in, Aaron, man." And I know it's directed at the pole sitter, but I'm going to claim that as if it's directed at me, so thank you, Matt. Thank you.
I know it might probably is meant aimed at you, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Well, after a wet qualifying, we are treated to a dry race, so that might explain some of the performances in qualifying. Some people had a slightly more comfortable setup for the dry that worked a little better in the wet.
Oh, funkychicken.com is in the chat.
Good evening, Mr. Funky Chicken. Thank you for tuning in.
Good evening, sir.
As we await for the grid to form. So we've got qualifying out of the way, Aaron. Who do you think is going to? Well, who do you think is going to be the race winner, and who do you think is going to be the champion?
Well, naturally, I'd always back Pagani. Obviously, Pagani's been in its day dot as well, and everyone knows we have a bit of a bromance. So, as funny as it would be to see him spin, it would. I also would quite like him to win, as long as he doesn't cry. I don't want him to,
doesn't land at the end of the race and starts bawling his eyes out.
I don't think that any of the championship contenders are going to win the race, but I think it's going to be. I think it's going to go right to the wire. There's going to be like a late safety car or something. I reckon Goy's going to crash at turn 1, and Mike will probably come last. But aside from that, no. In all seriousness, I'm going to go Alex Pixie to win. I think Pagani will be 2nd, and I think Brutus will be 3rd.
Well, very contrasting tyre strategies as we look at the grid. Now, nobody's moved yet, which is a worrying sign.
Oh, God.
Please don't glitch. So let's see what is going on here. It could just still be loading. Hopefully they'll head on their way in a second.
Oh, waiting on Iceman, apparently.
Oh, okay. Fingers crossed. Doesn't completely glitch the game. Like I said, not all the glitches have been sorted, but he's left the session, so he does have another invite. And yeah, there we go. Right, he's on his way. Right, I'll just quickly ping him another invite just so he can get back in. I believe so, yes. Yeah, true. It would be the
Alex Pixie in P3 versus the medium starters. Oscar in 4th. Now, Oscar, as well, obviously he's been in for a while now. He can demonstrate a lot of pace, but normally something happens in an Oscar race. So
Yes,
hopefully he has a clean run to the end.
he's definitely improved his pace since he's been in FTRL. He's still just lacking that consistency. He has managed to chalk up a win or two now, but I say he's.
So he doesn't crash every time then?
Not every time, no, thankfully, no. But last week he was in a good battle for the lead last week with Brutus and with who else got away at the start? Can't remember who it was. No, got a bit mixed up, but he was on the back of them. I think it wasn't Chus, was it? Who was it went with him last week? Lennon, that was it. Yeah, it was Brutus, Lennon, and Oscar kind of broke away at the start after a bit of chaos, and then Oscar unfortunately span out halfway through the race. I think he caught the curb at the penultimate corner.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
His race kind of unravelled a little bit from thereafter, but he's starting to show the pace. But needs a few more strong results to really cement himself in.
I'd like Oscar to win, actually. It'd be nice to see him win.
Indeed it would.
Because like I said, normally when I do commentary, something bad happens. So let's hope it doesn't happen.
Oh. Dylan and Tom Duval have
Dylan's
decided...
already crashed. Go on, Dylan.
Oh dearie. Anyway, I didn't touch on the tyre situation. So Aaron Chucker and Pagani both starting on the front row, starting on the soft tyres. Alex, Pixie, Oscar and Daft Chip, who start P5, all on the mediums. Katz is P6 on the hard tyre, as is Brutus in P7. Lennon starts 8th on the medium, with Bread on the medium in 9th. Chubbs on the medium in 10th. Iceman in P10, starting on the hards. Fever is 12th on the mediums. Macman on the hard tyre starts P13. Callum going racy at the start. He's on the softs, P14. Dylan cooling his tyres off on the grid on the soft tyre. And Tom starting on the mediums.
Good strategy from Dylan there. Doesn't want his tyres to get too hot off the line.
We saw last night the soft tyres not really lasting very long. Especially, although they've obviously not put any qualifying laps into them. So there is the possibility that the soft to medium could work tonight.
Oh, this is exciting, Lee.
Oh, isn't it just? This is one glitch that still goes on, by the way. The lights come on, go off, and then nobody goes anywhere because, apart from next Iceman, apparently.
Good start from Iceman.
He has absolutely
Good
sent
start.
it.
He's done that very well. Look at these noobs following him.
There they go then. Good stuff from Daft Chips, trying to go around the outside of Oscar. Top three have kind of stayed as they were. Oscar and Daft Chip wheel to wheel out of 2. Oh, one of the Mercedes is wide in the background. Pagani's got the good start. He's kept himself out of trouble. Further back, what's going on? Lennon coming in hot alongside Oscar. Oh, I think they've all just about avoided each other though. Fever going down the order. Not have the best of starts, unfortunately.
Oh, Lennon and Oscar.
Oh, Lennon goes around the outside. I guess it does on the opening lap. Well, that was a feisty start from Lennon. Brutus down to P9 then. Where did he start? Did he start P9? Can't remember. No, he's down too. So Brutus going the wrong way. Try to come back now at Nexus Katz. Up the inside. Katz has got the inside for the next corner. Chopping and changing. Oh, and now here comes Captain Chubbs now trying to get in amongst it as well. So can Chubbs... Oh, Katz has a big twitch onto the back straight. Almost wiped out Brutus on the outside.
Callum's done a spin.
Oh, Callum. Katz and Brutus side by side. Chubbs trying to find a gap. Brutus down the inside of Nexus Katz. Gets the move done. So leads across the strike for the first lap. Does he want to sign off his season with a maiden victory? Got the pole position. Pagani, he's doing everything he needs to do. Daft Chip is closing on the back of Alex Pixie. Oh, what's happened to Brutus? Brutus is off at turn 1. He's on the grass of Brutus, the championship contender, down to P14. He's lost it then on the inside of turn 1, ended up on the grass. And is his wing intact?
If you want to come to Aaron at the Skypad, I'll tune in and tell you that what happened there is Brutus spun and now he's lost positions. Back to you, Lee.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, yellow flag. What's going on now?
Oh, Brutus went again.
Oh, Brutus is that again. Brutus is now in. Had another moment. So, championship contender down to P14. You've got Callum recovering from his spin right behind him. And well, that's just a case of those tyres being a little wide again. I think he might have picked up... Oh, who's that going facing the wrong way? Oh, it's Dylan.
Go on, Dylan.
We've missed it. We haven't got replay function, unfortunately.
I didn't miss it. Good lad, Dylan. Keep going, son.
Put it down 6. Chubbs on Cats into the hairpin. So the Aston Martin man up to P7.
Oh, Pagani nearly went in.
Top 2 making a bit of a break for it here now then. So Aaron Drucker and Pagani are away using those soft tyres. So got advantage in the early going now. I know what Pagani said his strategy would be last night. I won't give it away just in case anybody is listening, but he has a strategy in mind.
Soft to mediums. That's what he's doing.
Let it be known that I did not give that away. So of course there is the big risk of whether or not a safety car is called. Well, that strategy completely out of the window. So Brutus has fallen behind Callum as well now, so he's got ahead of the ghosted Nexus Iceman. Tom Naval getting the move on Katz. I think Katz has had a moment now somewhere as well. He's currently coming back from a ghosted.
Tom's had a good start of 8 places.
Indeed. Tom Naval then just letting everybody ahead of him fall off the track. And picking his way through. He's now on the back of this train that goes from Alex Pixie all the way down to Tom Duval. So that's 3rd down to 8th. Top 2 streaking clear. Now Pagani's got himself within DRS range. Now DRS is not active yet, or maybe he wasn't in the detection zone. No, he wasn't in the detection zone. Daft Chip looks for a way past Alex Pixie. No way through into the hairpin though. Start finish straight. Pagani now in DRS range and fastest lap of the race as well. Now Daft Chip being 12 points back from Pagani. Obviously Brutus was the big threat, and now with that massive gap between them, Pagani of course just half a second away. Brutus is 15 seconds back in 12th place, so Brutus has got to get his head down now, try and get himself back into contention, because at the moment Pagani is going away with the crown.
Has Aaron Trucker won a race before?
I don't believe so, no. This is his second season.
Uncharted territory then.
Indeed it is.
Does he normally hold his nerve, or is he?
He's had some good results recently. He's been chipping away. He had a podium at Monaco on the track. He got a penalty was removed for somebody else, so dropped him down to 4th, but then he got a podium last week, so to make up for it. So yes, he's coming into form right at the end of the season here. And if you can get around Monaco onto the podium, then you are definitely holding your nerve. Pagani DRS pops open. Is he going to be close enough? I don't think so. Not this lap.
To be fair, knowing Pagani as well as we do, Lee, I wouldn't have thought that Pagani will try too hard at this point.
No.
If I know him like I know him.
Daft Chips deep into the hairpin. Len and Oscar trying to go up the inside and side by side of each other. Almost got a little bit congested and sort themselves out there, but Oscar now starting to work over Lennon. Yeah, like you say, Pagani doesn't need to force this.
Well, Oscar coming around the outside of turn 1.
All to with Lennon. Lennon's going to go deep, switches back. Contact.
Oh, we'll bang.
Lennon's going to keep his nose in. Oh, more contact. Oh.
In the space. There's a lovely initial move from Oscar there.
And he gets it done. Yeah, so he's got the move done. Yeah, good battling from those two. Lennon looking to come back up the inside. But Oscar's got him covered. Oh, back up to P5 for Oscar. So good battling between those two. Daft Chip didn't get the move done on Alex Pixie as well. So thought Alex might have released Daft Chip. And he looks to be in it for himself. Oh, Lennon is wiping out DHL marker boards. And it has spun out of that battle. Finds himself now in front of Cats and Fever. The Williams man has come to strife. Pagani much closer this time. Down the back straight, DRS wide open. to the inside, and Aaron doesn't fight it too hard. Through he goes. Also, Daft Chip makes the move for third.
Don't like that from Pagani, not very clean.
Cat's further back, gets the move done on Lennon. Lennon coming back at him, look, on the exit.
Well, if now Pagani's got ahead, the gap is now 3 seconds between Aaron and Daft Chip, but Pagani was quicker, so if Aaron Trucker can stand his DRS, I reckon they'll be able to put a bit more of a gap, because I think they might need more than what they've got to stop them from being overtaken later on in the race, because those softs don't last long.
No, I think Pagani said if he can get to lap 9, because I think we saw last night Lynx did a 19 lap stint on the mediums to finish 9 laps on the softs, and of course with no qualifying laps on these soft tyres, 9 laps shouldn't be out of the question. But it needs a clean race, and they'll be praying there's no safety car forthcoming.
Somebody has spun at the last corner.
I think Dylan had to go first, and I think Bread's tried to copy him a few seconds later.
Not really, dude.
Bread already praying for the stableness of that Renault Laguna tomorrow night.
Daft Chip has got past Alex Pixie, and he's on the move.
Yeah, indeed, laid down to 2 seconds now between him and his teammate. However, Alex Pixie not a million miles away further back. Oscar and Chubbs going at it for 5th. Chubbs going for a late move down the inside. Bumping wheels. Oscar around the outside. Chubbs has a moment trying to get the power down. Still side by side.
This isn't going to go well.
Into the final corner. Oscar escorts him wide. Still side by side. Now Chubbs has got the inside. Oscar's...
Send it. Send it. Send it. Here we go.
Sent it. They're still wheel to wheel. Oscar trying to hang on around the outside. Chubbs up the inside. Chubbs is ahead, but Oscar's now got the inside for turn 2.
Send.
Oh, Chubbs on the curve. That's a bit of a twitch. And Oscar gets the move done, and now here comes the second Ferrari.
Here comes Tom Danny Kvyat. Ooh.
He did say he saw a picture of Danny Kvyat. Oh! Somehow he keeps it pointing out. Yeah, he said he saw a picture of Danny Kvyat on his Instagram the other day, and if he didn't know any better, he would have thought it was a picture of himself.
Whenever I think of Danny Kvyat, I just can't unsee a picture I saw of him. There's a very, very, very famous boxer, one of the best in the world, called Canelo. I'm sure everyone's familiar with him. And he was in the garage with Kvyat years ago when he was in F1. And Kvyat was just stood there looking like such a goon. He had like proper big ankle swinging jeans on and everything. And I was like, mate, you're in there with the best boxer in the world and you can't even get a pair of jeans on it to fit there. Kvyat, I just can't with Kvyat. He cringes me out so much. Anyway, back to the race at least. I'm distracted.
Now, you were talking about Daft Chip being on the move. That gap was 2 seconds lap ago. It is now 0.6 of a second. Oh, Oscar and Alex Pixie colliding in the braking zone for the hairpin. Oscar gets the move done. Alex almost goes straight on. That was robust. Into the pits has come Daft Chip, I think. Or was it? No, it's Aaron. Aaron is in.
No.
So Aaron in on end of lap 7. Which leaves 2 of our title contenders, first and second.
Well, Chubbs has passed Pixie.
Yeah, Alex then really got a number done by Oscar, then into the break. They were wheel to wheel down the back straight, and then Oscar just shimmied him over, and then Oscar exits stage right, and he's
what? That looked really weird on my screen.
At the exit.
Did he just drop it?
He dropped it on the exit turn 2, I believe.
It literally took me by such surprise. I was watching him and he just sort of zipped across my screen the other way. Oh, Oscar, no, come on, man.
He's got it pointing in the right direction again. Brutus has recovered up to P9, getting himself ahead of Nexus Cats. Also just got ahead of Oscar. So Brutus's fight back is on. But we've now got 2 of our title contenders battling for the lead. And Pagani's got a healthy lead over Daft Chip, so he can afford to let Daft Chip go.
Yeah, look at the battery percent as well. Pagani's not interested in this battle. I think he wouldn't mind if Daft Chip went on to win this.
Yeah, you can afford to let him go. Daft Chip then pops out of the slipstream, down the inside, and that is the lead of the race. And Daft Chip's had
Oscar's gone.
quite a... oh no. Yeah, Daft Chip's had quite a breakout season. He threatened some good results last season, ended up third in the standings, taking a couple of victories this season. So he has made the breakout. Pagani going back at him though, down the outside. He's going to go the long way around turn 1 here. Gets the move done, Daft Chip sees him coming, lets him go. Both these two know that the finish is more important, whereas we've seen Oscar and Lennon. Oscar and Chubbs go wheel to wheel. These two are playing the long game. Now Pagani is probably on schedule. So expect to see the Aston Martin in this lap.
I can't help but feel that Brutus has shot himself in the foot a little bit with choosing the hard tyres to start. I just think if you're in a championship battle, you want to be at the front as early as possible because you just don't really get caught up in that traffic.
Yeah, no,
I can see what he's tried to do, be quicker towards the end, and I could be proven wrong, but...
takes his one safety car. We saw last night Dylan, who had a good qualifying, then an early spin, came in, put the hard tyres on, and then the safety car came out late, closed everybody up, and here, Daft Chip having a slide, ended up P2. So safety cars can change the complexion of this race. A big slide for Daft Chip did not change the complexion of this overtake though, and retakes the lead of the race. And Alec Chubbs now getting into this as well. Now Chubbs will know his teammates in the title battle, so don't expect Chubbs to attack Pagani too hard. And of course we're expecting Pagani in this time. If he's sticking to his original strategy, the answer is yes he is. In he comes. Don't hit the pit wall. Well done.
Matt calls in the chat. Hello, Matthias. How are you, good sir?
There are, but not for you. You're too quick. We've been through this already. You are too a speedy boy.
Is he quick?
Yeah, occasionally. Maybe it was just the rest of us were slow.
Just don't let him race at Malaysia ever again, because he crashed out behind where he started when we raced once.
Or Canada.
Or Canada.
That video that broke Pagani.
Matt Calls is one of the best human beings I've ever met.
And he's also very good at talking to girls.
Oh, Matt. I hope you're doing well, man, on a serious note. I hope your dad's well as well.
So back to the race, and Daft Chip now leads. Now Pagani has pitted. He's back out in P11, so he's behind Aaron Trucker again, who went the lap early. So the undercut has worked out quite nicely for Aaron. The question is though, will his tyres last till the end?
Pagani will be comfortable. To be fair, Pagani's in a good position now because he's got 30 seconds behind him. He's got a comfortable enough gap in front of him. Like I said, Pagani, knowing him, as much as he'll want to go on and win a race, he will not care as long as he wins the championship. So for him, he's got a nice bit of clean air, and the guy in front of him is going just as quick.
Yeah, 100%. So, also now he's safe from a safety car as well. So if anything, a safety car now would help him out immensely. Oh, race leader Daft Chip spun at turn 1. Lost it on the outside. I think he clipped the grass and loses the back end. Oh, and his tyres are hot. He's almost lost the back again on exit of 2.
Lee, you just made me shit myself when you shouted then. Scared the life out of me. I full on jumped.
I was watching Chubbs and Tom and then I just saw an orange flash. And it dawned on me who it was. So I do apologise. Sorry Charlotte for having to clean up that mess.
Nah, she's alright. It's nothing she doesn't do. Of course, how can you remember that's 4 years ago? Matt, you've given me so many good memories, my friend. I legitimately never forget them.
Indeed, and so everything kind of strung out at the minute. McMahon Brutus Cats is the closest big battle we've got, although we've still got a battle for the lead. Deval and Chubbs. Well, we've got a first penalty then, so 11 laps in. First penalty on the board is Nexus Cats at the back of this group. Oscar going past Iceman. Now is Iceman back in his car, or is it still a ghost car? Let's have a look. So it is still a Ghost car set. No, unfortunately he has not been able to get back in. Maybe he's decided his shoulder just was a little bit too painful. But before the lead into turn 1, less than a tenth between them. Chubb still leads. Tom Duval second, yellow flag. Oh, is that... who is that? Oh, it's Alex Pixie. Alex Pixie's now lost on the exit of turn 1. So another car going off on the outside of the first car is Pagani now with the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, he's pulled a second an hour in front of him.
So reeling in the McLaren man.
So this would be really damaging for Brutus because Pagani's only 5 seconds behind him at this point, and he's
looking
got a bit
of
of in
Map
hand.
Man. Oh, there's a bit of contact. It's a forceful overtake. Matman's still up the inside of him though. Brutus sweeps around the outside. Nexus Cat's now trying to bind to this as well. Matman and Cats are now side by side. A little bit of rubbing. Matman's got the inside. Cats is wings in a precarious position. Oh, Brutus with a penalty.
Brutus.
Cat's getting a raw match trying to get the inside. Matman covers the line. Cat's trying to switch back. Oh, Cats has spun. Oh, half spins.
Off you go.
Through goes Aaron. Oh, Pagani. Just as Cats rejoices, through goes the championship leader. And now yellow flag. Oh, is it Chubbs? No, it is. He was spun.
Dylan, go on, son. Go on, Dylan. Good lad.
Race leading pair are in.
Oh, he's gone.
Tom Duval. Oh, and Chubbs into the pits and Chubbs into the back. Tom Duval, so he hit the speed limiter. In comes Lennon as well. And they're obviously doing the... Going to the hards, yeah, they're going to the hard tyres. The Chubbs managed to avoid any wing damage. Through go Aaron and Pagani. Yellow flag, sector 1. Who is it this time? Oh,
it's
it's
Dylan. Go on, Dylan.
Dylan again.
He's smashing it, isn't he?
He is, literally.
Yeah, good lad.
And so Adaptive retakes the lead then after his little drama. Alex Pixie back in second. Feber on his tail. So Feber's just quietly going about his business in that way that he does. Been very impressed with Feber this season in F1. Of course, we know him very well from the we know him very well from the GT side, but it's his first season in F1 with us, and picked himself up some very solid results along the way. He was at one stage was an outsider for the championship, but a couple of retirements has kind of just dropped him away. But I think he's in the battle for the top 5.
Feber is one of the best wheel-to-wheel racers I've ever had the pleasure of racing against.
100%. I don't
and
think.
On top of that, one of the nicest people in the world.
Very much so. I don't think anybody has a bad word to say about Feber, having raced them. And so Feber is 6th in the points. Unfortunately, yeah, he's kind of fallen away a little bit in the battle for 4th. Now between Matman and Aaron.
Oh, Dylan.
As Feber pits. Daft Chip and Alex Pixie continue on their way. Aaron and Pagani closing together, and the pair of them are closing down on the man second in the championship. The championship runners 1st, 3rd and 5th in reverse order. Of course, Brutus just 4 points off the lead coming into this one after winning last time out. But he's still got a
significantly quicker at this point, mate. He looks,
looking very, very comfortable around half race distance. No safety car yet though, so it's good driving from everybody. No retirements as well. So very good job from the Div 2 boys. Usually by this stage we've had at least 6 safety cars, 8 retirements, a streaker, a blimp crash, the Candy Floss van's on fire, and the DHL banner's fallen onto the racetrack in a Div 2 race.
And SBY's over the tannoids and everyone about how Twix are the best of both worlds. Outside joke, or inside joke, however you want to call it.
Yeah, I mean, it happened outside.
It did, yeah, whilst he was laying down on a deck chair on the grass in the middle of a field at Brands Hatch, so
these are Pagani closing on Aaron, but he's sitting out the slipstream, but doesn't want to go for it just yet, not quite close enough.
His
Tom Duval
testicles have shrunk, Pagani. He would have sent that a couple of years ago.
Tom Duval meanwhile gets the move done on Nexus Cats for P6. He could be an outsider for the win now. He's starting to close on what were the top two.
Oh, Pagani with the speed. Christ!
Yeah, using the DRS, flicks to the inside. Through he goes. Retakes P4. What will be the net race lead because the three cars ahead of him have yet to stop. Tom Duval behind them on the hards, just set the fastest lap of the race, so he's got to be one to watch.
Yeah. Pagani borrowed a rocket off Elon Musk then. The speed that he went down that straight was ridiculous.
Indeed, and he is now right behind his nearest championship rival. Brutus is going to be praying for a late safety car. Still quite a way to go. They're on lap 15 of 28. Running order is as follows. Daft Chip leads, third in the championship, yet to make a pit stop though. Leads by nearly 6 seconds over Alex Pixie in the Alpine. 4 seconds back we find the second of our title contenders, Brutus Beer, who has got the championship leader right behind him. Has he got DRS? He does as well, so Pagani will close even further. And if he can get the move done, Brutus, that will be a very big statement of intent. Further back, Chubbs has gone around Cats in the braking zone. Retakes P7. A mile ahead of them. Lennon recovering to 9th after his earlier misfortune. Got Fever behind him in 10th, who was just pitted. Then Mattman and Callum, the Mercedes 11th and 12th. Oscar recovering to P13 after his dramas, another one hoping for a safety car. Bred, who's been on the back foot since the opening lap, P14. Next is Iceman after his demon start. His pace has not quite been there in the race. Unfortunately, Casper not quite as quick as Iceman. And Dylan is currently pointing in the right direction. Let's stay on board with him for a bit. Let's see how long that lasts. He's on a straight. But anything can happen. He's into a corner. He's got around the corner.
It's going to be an overtake in a minute. Along that back straight, Pagani.
Yep, Pagani and Aaron and Tom Duval all closing up, and all of them are closing up on the back of Brutus. And Chubbs and Cats also in the background there, so we've got to have a nice little battle starting to form here. So who has pitted? Brutus not pitted. So Pagani, Aaron, Tom, Chubbs have all pitted, so they're all going to the end. Pagani in the slipstream. DRS pops open. This will be a fairly routine overtake, and he takes P3 back from his championship rival. It's not close enough. So what does Brutus do then? Does Brutus... Oh! Was the contact? Because Brutus... Did he just... Brutus headed for the pit lane. And I think he might have tagged the back of Pagani on the way in. Had a terrible camera angle, so I didn't really see it, but I just saw Pagani back in and Brutus go straight on.
That was interesting.
Well, drama in the title battle. And Pagani, who's gone from looking at a very comfortable P3, finds himself down in P6. Lost places to Chubbs, to Tom and to Aaron.
Oh dear.
Brutus went onto the medium, so I was about to ask whether or not Brutus stayed on track and tried to get to the soft tyre, or pitted early, go to the mediums and see what happened. Did he get any damage from that as well? So he's back on track again now. Obviously he's missed his pit stop, so he's come up behind Nexus Cats. That suggests he may have got some wing damage.
I think what's happened there was Brutus. I mean, if there was contact, which I imagine there would have been for Pagani to go off the way that he has done there, I would have thought that Brutus has just tried to floor it into the pits to minimise the amount of time he's lost, misjudged Pagani's corner speed and just sort of clipped his rear wheel as he's gone. And just sent Pagani. But if that was me driving that car, my head would have gone. So Let's see how Pagani reacts to it. Luckily, he's got 2 drivers ahead of him that still need to pit, so worst case scenario, he's 4th at the minute.
Yep, 5 seconds now to his teammate. So Tom Duval takes over from Aaron in P3, and that will be the net race lead. Still waiting for your front 2 to pit. Daft Chip looks like he's trying to get to the soft tyre. Alex Pixie following suit. 6.3 seconds between them. Yellow flag. Oh, it's yeah, once again it's Dylan.
Go on, Dylan. I didn't even need to look.
Yellow flag again. Oh, he's gone again. Blue flag wants to know, is Pagani running the Catamese aero package, aka 1-1 ring, well, wings. That's what I'm looking for.
One
of them. 1-1 rings. One ring. The one ring.
I was going to say, I thought Pagani looked a little bit like Gollum.
He will murder you for saying that. Just saying, Daft Chip is in, race leader pits. Does Alex Pixie follow suit? The answer is yes, he does. So top 2 are in, and that will see Tom Duval come through to take the lead of the race. Now, where is Daft Chip? Alex Pixie going to come out relative to Pagani? Is the question. Daft Chip is on his way. Pagani coming down the start finish, right? So Pagani will take Daft Chip. Daft Chip's going to be on significantly fresher and faster tyres. However, they're going to have a limited time where they're going to be quick. Because we saw last night with the Dutch Tricks and Links coming about on the soft tyres for 9 laps. They lasted about 6 before the edge had gone. Daft Chip is just 3 seconds off the back of Pagani, so that is catchable. Oh! Until he spins and loses his front wing. And I think that is the end of Daft Chip's title challenge. A VSC's deployed. He spins halfway through turn 2, hits the wall, front wing is off. And having just made his pit stop, it has all gone wrong for Daft Chip. So this will be helping out Aaron and Pagani, who of course are on those medium tyres. Looking to get to the end. Race nullified while we're under VSC. No DRS will be available. It's Oscar in the pits again. He's taking advantage of a cheap pit stop. So another race that's just got away from him, unfortunately. Oh, and Chubbs has picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. Not going to be happy about that. He's going to serve it straight away. So VSC has ended. In comes the Aston Martin man. He's going to lose P3. That'll help Pagani. He gets back onto the podium. Daft Chip then also finding his way into pit lane. Oh, almost does a Lewis Hamilton. Oh, just misses the wall. And he's in again. So unlucky for Daft Chip. What about Brutus? He's only at the end of the hairpin. So Brutus has just not had the speed tonight. Currently P10 then, so Tom Duval now leads by 1.3 seconds over Aaron Trucker. Pagani back up to P3 after that drama. Lennon 4th, Fever up to P5 now. Chubbs having served his drive-through penalty down to 6th. Katz is 7th, Brutus is 8th, Macman 9th, Daft Chip is P10. Alex Pixie's pitted again. Did he pick up some damage as well? Potentially. Callum is P12, Brad 13th, Oscar 14th, Iceman is 15th, and Dylan rounding out the runners. All 16 drivers still going.
I reckon Dylan's still in this.
100%.
I want him to win.
That penalty could be critical, and Tom Duval, and usually not a driver to pick up too many penalties. So Aaron, he can stay close. He's got 8 laps to stay within 3 seconds and not pick up a penalty. So the potential first win is not out of the question here for him.
Be good to see him do it.
I suppose it's a question of whether or not we want to consider Tom for the victory, seeing he's only filling in to make up some numbers.
No. Yeah, I love Tom, but no. Oh.
Well, let's see if Aaron can hold on. He is 1.9 seconds back at the moment.
Oh, Tom's nearly went. Nexus Cats is on him.
Covers the inside. Catso with the DRS is going to go all the way around the outside. They're going to go wheel to wheel around one. Oh, touch of tyres. Chubbs just about clings onto it. Cats gets the move done. Ballsy move there from Nexus Cats, taking no prisoners. That man closing on Brutus. Or is it the other way around? Brutus may have actually just got him. Good battle going over for P13 as well. Unlucky for some. And a minute is Oscar and Bread. Oscar's going around. It's unlucky for Oscar. Unlucky 13. Out of the final corner. Just clip that inside curb. Carry a bit too much speed. The back end gets away from him. And spin on stream. Away he goes. And just damage to the Pride. I think he kept his car out of the wall. Still all drivers running.
I feel like I'm a bad omen for Oscar.
He might not let you back in the commentary box again after tonight. If there was any doubt before tonight, then I think tonight has definitely confirmed that you are his jinx. Well, it's all kind of spreading out a little bit now. In terms of the battles, Tom Duval leading by 2.3 seconds as the cat's sticking its claws in my leg. Do not appreciate that. It is indeed. Yeah, she clearly thinks it's feeding time. It is 9 o'clock, so it is about feeding time. You've got to wait 6 laps to stop that. Staff Chip then emphasising the pace he has. Fastest lap of the race, a 34.2. Quickly, however, taken away from him by Alex Pixie, a 34.0. Alex Pixie, who great job in qualifying. It's not quite worked out for him in the race, unfortunately, but showing he has the pace. Hopefully he'll be back with us next season. He raced tonight at risk of getting duffed up by his other half.
Put your foot down, my son.
Well, Tom Duval has put his foot down, and he now leads by over 3 seconds, so...
I see what you did there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. However, he has 8 seconds of penalties, so Aaron Chucker still leads the race. Now, what has he done there? Did he get a VSC speeding penalty, I wonder? No, he would have had to serve that, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
So he must have sped in the pit lane.
It'd be good to see Aaron Drucker do it.
Yep, I think he's definitely deserved it. 2 great performances recently. And to top it off, a victory as Cats are getting the move done on Fever into the hairpin for P5. This battle has now come together nicely.
Whenever we see Fever's name, I always, in my head, I sing the Fever song.
What's the Fever song? Do you want to treat the world to the Fever song?
No, Fever. Who's it? Who sung it? Oh. When you kiss me, fever, when you hold me tight.
Oh, that one. Yeah, another one. I know who sang it.
Fever. I need to have a look now.
Okay, well you can do that. Daft Chip takes the fastest lap back from Alex Pixie on that lap. This is the closest battle on track at the moment. Is Cats, Fever and Chubbs sitting 5th, 6th and 7th. We had a great battle for P5 last night as well. 5-car train battling it out for P5. It was Adamaku who prevailed in that one. Who's going to prevail in this one at the moment? A minute is Nexus Cats. Chubbs though is now closing on the back of Fever as well. Daft Chip is on the back of Matman now, so the SAF tyres are working well. A yellow flag. No points for guessing who.
Big Arlie.
Yes.
It was Peggy Lee, apparently.
Really?
Fact of the day. Fact of the day.
Aaron Taylor's Div 2 fact of the day.
Of the year. Don't know, Tom. That's what done comms about a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably. It's been a while.
I do enjoy it sporadically. It's just difficult.
Yes, fortunately, life tends to get in the way, doesn't it?
It does. If I had my way, I'd do it all the time.
Ooh, Chubbs with a slide as he tries to get the power down. Chasing Fever. Pointing in the right way though. So now on lap 24 of 28. The lead is now 6 seconds between Tom Duval and Aaron Trucker. So despite that 8-second penalty, Tom potentially could still pick up the victory here. He's pushing hard. Pagani though sat comfortably in P3. Lennon 2 seconds behind him. Staff Chip and Matman have started battling. Staff Chip's got the purchase there on those soft tyres. He's down the inside of Matman. Matman gives him a wide berth. And Daft Chip takes P9. He's now 2 seconds behind Brutus. So Pagani's nearest rivals 8th and 9th. While he sits pristinely in P3. Lennon closing on him though for that final podium spot. Chubbs meanwhile in the DRS of Fever, but not going to be close enough this time. So break 4 there. Pin Fever goes a little bit deep. Chubbs thinks about looking at the inside. Then has a big twitch trying to get the power down. To the final corner. Another DRS straight coming up almost immediately. Is Chubbs close enough this time? Not quite. Goes for a bit of a send into turn 1. Goes around the outside. Fever keeps the door firmly shut, hanging on to that P6. That man still stalking Daft Chip, but you feel that Daft Chip will just ease away from him now. He's got some clear air. And you can see Brutus just a couple of seconds up the road, but how Daft Chip will be ruining how his race unravelled last week. Of course, he took P2 in Austria, got the lead into turn 1, and there was a collision between himself and Sandel on the run up to turn 3. Put him into the gravel, dropped him all the way into the pack. While Brutus romped to victory. Of course, Daft Chip was just 3 points behind Pagani coming into last week. Recovered brilliantly to P5, but 12 points was a very big ask, especially with Pagani going as well as he is here. Chubbs continuing to stalk Fee, but Lennon continues to close on Pagani. So Pagani might not get a chance to stand on the podium in his championship winning race. Of course, still got 2 laps and 1 corner to navigate, so no chickens are being counted yet. Tom Duval leads by 7.1 seconds now. That lead is just inching up then. Aaron Trucker's tyres a little bit second hand, 17 laps on them.
Oh, Chubbs down the inside.
So we've done into 1.
Solid move.
Cleaned P6, but yeah, unfortunately the Aston Martin challenge for the constructors is going to fall short with Aaron P2. Daft Chip P9, unless something befalls both of them before the end. It looks like there won't be a... oh, there might be a McLaren. No, there won't be a McLaren clean sweep because Daft Chip is not likely to be... oh no, we've got a retirement. Dylan has crashed in the pit entrance by the look of it. He's clipped the wall. Our first retirement on lap 26, 28. That's very good going for Div 2. A very clean race. There's a couple of the drivers out there who would have been hoping for some safety cars. And we have just seen 1 virtual safety car tonight. Dylan straight in the chat. No way. To be fair, that is very good. That's a much improved. Well done. Oh, Chubbs picks up a penalty late on in the race. That's not going to help his cause. For a yellow flag. Who or what was that? Or was it Matman? I think Matman's had a moment somewhere. He's just lost a lot of time to Daft Chip. Alex Pixie's got through as well. Yeah, Matman's had a spin. Coming into the left-hander before the long right onto the back straight. On his way again though. And Aaron could potentially overhaul him for P4 here, because the gap between those two wasn't huge. Aaron Trucker was 11 points back on 139, Matman on 150, so Aaron on course for 26, Matman on course for just 9, so yeah, Aaron could steal P4 at the death here. Once again, everybody just found out Lennon's charge towards Pagani's just stalled slightly. The gap holding at 1.6. Lennon won't do anything stupid though, because he knows Pagani would kill him.
I wouldn't put it past Lennon. You've met him. You have met him.
Apparently there's a request in the chat to call you a dirty mank.
Was that T. Smith by any chance about looking?
Yes, it is. Would you like to retort?
I don't need to, because anybody that's heard his voice knows I don't need to retaliate to that.
This is true. This is very true.
I'm going to stoop to his level.
So Tom de Wallen starts the final lap of the race. Lead is 7.9 seconds, and so it is awfully close. Can Aaron stay within that 8-second bracket on the final lap?
Well, Chubbs was weaving down the start-finish straight, so he's having a wonderful time. Sorry, the back straight, that was start-finish straight.
Start-finish straight now. He starts his final lap of the race. Dylan's calling himself, or calling it now, he's going to be the Season 18 Div 2 champion. So, you heard it here first.
Go on, Dylan.
Everybody quite nicely spaced out. Lennon closing in on Pagani, but I think he will just be the first to congratulate him as he crosses the line, provided he can navigate this final lap. Tom DeVallo has driven brilliantly from the back of the grid, kept himself out of trouble, and he rounds the hairpin onto the back straight for the final time. The lead is 8.5 seconds here, so despite that massive penalty, he should still be able to claim a victory here. Lennon closing on Pagani as well.
Bin in Lennon.
Can you imagine?
I would laugh so much. I'd feel sorry for him, because I know how much he wants to win, but I would laugh a lot.
Well, Tom DeVallo crosses the line, he wins. The race on track. Is he going to hold on for the victory? He is, I think, by just 0.7 of a second. Yeah, Aaron comes out agonisingly short of that first victory. But behind them, out of the final corner, despite not winning a race all season, Pagani is your Season 17 Div 2 champion. He crosses the line P3, Lennon P4.
What a wanker.
Katz crosses the line P5. Chubbs gets a penalty right at the death, and is Fieber going to jump him? He does. Fieber gets P6, Chubbs comes home P7. Brutus, it's just not been his day, and he's gone straight on. He's going to do some donuts instead. Daft Chip coming through to finish P8. Brutus, it was a sterling effort from him, but just not his night tonight. Perhaps the wrong strategy. Alex Pixie comes through for P9. Matman will take P10. Brutus has finished his donuts. Crosses the line in P11. Callum, I think another solid result from him. Points on the board. Coming down into the hairpin. The battle between Hill and Dylan. I think he's managed to get Dylan's number. Right at the final corner, Brett going battling for Brett and Oscar. Out the final corner, who's going to be P13? Oscar's going to steal it on the line. Oscar.
That's just got a trophy I like to watch. Christ. The nonce trophy. Yeah.
There we have it. Top the Val driver of the day. I think from last to first. I think there was no real other person in contention.
What about Dylan?
Obviously Dylan in contention there, but the game has decided it's racism to give it to Tom. The Tom wins. Aaron is second, Pagani is third, and with it wraps up the Season 17 Championship. McLaren will wrap up the Constructors' title. Those are 3 out of 4 titles this season have gone to McLaren. Those were the strongest teams overall across both divisions, of course, with links the Div 1 champ, and him and Funky Fox winning the Constructors. And your final result of the season, Tom Duval wins from Aaron Trucker with Pagani in third, and with it crowning himself Div 2 champion. Lennon P4, Cats P5, Fever comes home P6 with Chubbs P7. Daft Chip, what could have been for him, ends up P8, takes the fastest lap with Alex Pixie, a very strong drive from him on his return this night. P8, Macman finishes the season with a P10. Brutus, not his night tonight, unfortunately, wrong strategy, sees him celebrate with some donuts at the end there, and finishes P11 and will be second in the championship. Callum P12, Oscar P13 there, just nabbing that position back from Bread on the final corner. Next is Iceman, after his demon start, never quite managed to get back into his car, and the one retirement tonight, which was Dylan.
Well, that was quite an exciting race to end the season.
It was indeed, yes. It's tense title battle. Could have gone either way, but it all came up Pagani. Yeah,
well, all I will say is my closing thoughts for the evening would be enjoyable as always. Thank you to all of the drivers for taking part. I know I'm not really around with F1 stuff, but I did it for a long time, so I'm enjoying a nice prolonged break from it all. But I hope the drivers have enjoyed it, and I hope the drivers will also express their gratitude to you, Mr. Lee Cole, for running the divisions with your fellow admins, because you've done a magnificent job, and I for one know how bloody horrible it is sometimes. So for all of the shit that you probably get, and for everything else that goes on top of it, well done, and thank you on behalf of everybody. So done a wonderful job, my friend.
No, it's been a pleasure. It's been a lot of fun this season. It's great to see the league evolve. I think Div 1, especially the quality in Div 1, is as high as it's probably ever been. And even Div 2 now, there's no, we've had some comedy drivers along the way in the Div 2 and Div 3 while it existed briefly. But I think now the quality of Div 2 is, there are multiple race winners in both divisions. This new game has definitely shaken up the order, but it's great to see new faces winning, new people coming in, and new people being successful, and that's ultimately what it's all about. And most of all, people having fun. It's the occasional flare up, but I think it's one of the best groups we've had across both divisions. So it's a pleasure to run, and a thank you to all the drivers who want to take part. Of course, season 17 now consigned to the history books, which means that season 18 begins in earnest in a few weeks' time. And as ever, if you want to be a part of FTRL, please do get in touch with us. We are always looking for our next legend, so please do get in touch with us. Twitter @_FTRL_. Or if you know anybody who's here, please pass your details on. We'll be in touch. Always looking to expand our roster. There's lots of great drivers out there, and we hope some of them will want to be a part of our little league. And a big credit to the man joining me on comms tonight, for joining me on comms, making it a laugh, and of course for setting this all up however many years ago it was. 4 years ago now? 5 years ago?
Nearly 5, my friends. Nearly 5. It's been a long time. So nearly half a decade of FTRL, and it's been one of the best things I've ever done. So yeah, it's been wonderful, mate. It's been wonderful. There's also the reason why, for most of you probably already know anyway, but for somebody like Pagani to come on and win another championship, Pagani's been in it for basically nearly as long as I have, like longer than you, Lee, longer than pretty much everybody else that's here. So for a proper OG to win a championship is a good feeling, so I'm pleased for him. All of the jokes and banter aside. Yeah, it's a shame you can't do it on GT anymore, but it's... Speaking of GT, one last thing before I shut up. For those that are in FTRL, I know obviously Formula 1 is and probably always will be the pinnacle of the league, but please do come and show some support. The racing in our GT league is brilliant. If you want to even try it out, the game is literally cost you pennies these days, I think, for GT Sport. New one's coming out next year, and we have so much fun in that league, and we have so many different ideas, and we race so many different types of cars. The game is easier than it looks. If you fancy trying it out, please do give it a consideration. And yeah, it's such a wonderful part of FTRL, and we hope one day we'll reach the heights and the viewers and everything that we get for F1. So even if you're got nothing to do on a Thursday evening or whatnot, just come along and show a little bit of support. It would mean the world to us if you can. So I will shut up now and let the league close off, but thank you all for your support as always. Thank you to all of the drivers, for everybody that watches. And even though I'm not always knocking around, I'm always still paying attention and watching what goes on. So well done to you boys, well done to you especially, and I hope everybody in the Discord gives you a big well done and thank you, mate, because you've done a wonderful job. So that's me out.
Thank you very much. Well, of course, yeah, as I mentioned there, GT Sport back tomorrow. Please come and join Switchback as he depicts the action from Laguna Seca. Of course, 2 races in the Group 4 Renault Megane, and then the feature race in the Group 3 cars. So bound to be exciting. How are you feeling about tomorrow's race, Aaron? Of course, you're a big fan of Laguna Seca.
Was that sarcasm or?
No.
I love the track. I mean, I must admit, if I said I'd done any form of practice, I'd be lying. But just I've been a bit poorly. I've been poorly sick this week, so I will do a little bit of practice in a little while. But no, either way, it should be good fun. Sending it down that corkscrew in those cars. I'm looking forward to the Group 4s more than the Group 3. So let's have it.
Indeed, let's have it. So 8 o'clock tomorrow on this very channel for that. But again, as we mentioned earlier, for tonight and for this season, that is the end of everything. Well done to all our champions. Links in Div 1 and Funky Fox in the constructors alongside him. Pagani, the drivers' champion. Daft Chip and Aaron Trucker, the constructors' champions in Div 2. Of course, commiserations to all those that came so close. And hopefully they will be back next season to go again. So, a couple of weeks off then. We will start planning for the new season. As I said already, please do get in touch if you'd like to be involved. And we'll be back then in a couple of weeks with season 18. In the meantime, GT Sport action to keep you entertained tomorrow night and for the next few weeks. And yeah, please do keep your eyes posted for all things FTRL. Lots of new things coming up in the not too distant future. But from myself and Aaron for this evening, thank you very much, and we'll see you again.
Bye.